Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry. Ekant, Veer. My apologies for running late.
That's fine. I work at the university, we do this all the time. Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Ekant Veer tako ingoa he kamahi o te whare wānanga o te Waitaha. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Councillors, my name is Ekant Veer, and I'm the Associate Dean of Postgraduate Research at the University of Canterbury. I am also an Associate Professor of Marketing in the country's highest ranked marketing and tourism group. That fact has no bearing on what I want to say to you today. I just want it on the record because we only found out this week.
Sorry, aren't you the most popular lecturer in the entire country as well?
I really want to talk about the group, but you're not wrong either. But one fact that is pertinent to what I want to talk about today is that about 2 years ago I was part of a team that helped co-write the multicultural strategy that was launched about a year and a half ago. At the time of the launch, we were assured that the multicultural strategy would become a formative part of council processes and practices and would be able to involve more multiculturalism into the things that the City Council does. In reading the Council's draft annual plan, it was clear the recommendations made in the multicultural strategy have not been employed and that there was no multicultural lens taken in developing the plan. I appreciate the plan is a broad overview of issues facing the city, but when a significant proportion of the spending is assigned to communities and citizens, it will be appropriate to get a clearer understanding of how this funding will support our ethnically and culturally diverse population. For example, on pages 44 to 45 of the plan, I see no capital expenditure specifically set aside to support our diverse population's needs, but rather a focus on services that support all citizens homogeneously and monoculturally. One recommendation I have is to support the multicultural hub that was just presented to you. I should note that I have not met with that team, but I absolutely support the idea of a multicultural hub, whether it's theirs or something else. Secondly, I see no implementation of the recommendations made in the multicultural strategy, either in the draft annual plan or in other council services. One of the recommendations we made was to monitor the uptake of multicultural strategies' outcomes and principles in council's policies, plans, and activities. As of now, it looks like there's been zero uptake. I recommend further funding and human resource be allocated to monitor the uptake of the strategy's outcomes. Thirdly, the multicultural strategy recommended the council measure equitable access to council services, facilities, and processes. I note the draft annual plan was only available in English, excluding a lot of people in the city who speak other languages. I do not expect the whole plan to be translated into every language possible, but I recommend having a one-page summary of every major council decision being made in few key languages. Finally, the multicultural strategy recommended that the multicultural advisory group be established, similar to the disability advisory group, to ensure that advice on multicultural matters is given to council and council staff. I recommend that funding be allocated to the draft annual plan to accommodate this measure. I have no evidence, and there is no evidence, to suggest that using the multicultural strategy would have prevented the terrorist attack on March 15th. However, I do firmly believe that had there been a proper and fuller incorporation of the principles in that plan, we may be able to bridge those gaps into the multicultural strategy in a far more effective way in the aftermath. There's been a lot of good sentiment since the terrorist attack. We know that. This follows a very standard plan of disaster recovery where we have a honeymoon period. Whether we're to sustain this, we need to have a far more effective and formative approval and approach to multiculturalism in the city. In my remaining time, I now welcome any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I mean, I couldn't agree more that we've got a period of time which enables us now to really step up the response.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. Jimmy and then Anne.
Good, Jim.
And thank you so much, for your summation. I also thank you so much getting involved in establish the multicultural strategy. But you are aware, the multicultural strategy, we have a vision, we have 4 goals. These 4 goals, except goal 1, there's a council. Council is a multi-ethnic, multicultural agency. But goal 2 to goal 3, we particularly emphasize regarding to give every person equal opportunity to access council's information service, participate in the decision-making process. Goal 4 is a value safety cultural diversity in Christchurch. But council did have, grant funding, like strength and community funding or discretion funding, even community board have those funding. Let's give them opportunity, to celebrate value cultural diversity. But regarding participation, like a heritage strategy,
sure.
Arts strategy, or smart strategy, we did have. So, which area we need to strengthen that one? I just want to know.
So, which area to strengthen?
Yeah.
I would strengthen them all. I don't think you can say, well, we need to put one bit of funding into one area and therefore Heritage Trust will get more. The idea of a multicultural strategy, especially founded in bicultural principles in this city, in this country, is that we take a lens that appreciates that we don't treat everyone the same. We don't treat everyone monoculturally, that we try to participate not through, and with respect to the groups that have come before, not through some groups that are not necessarily representative of the multicultural community, but talking to people in languages they understand, in ways they understand, and bringing people together in a manner that they appreciate, because we are not a monocultural city. And that's what the multicultural strategy was meant to be about. So not to present a one-size-fits-all approach. So supporting a multicultural hub would be a great way. If we got that built, then you can have a meeting there and that would achieve a big portion. Having a one-page summary of where rates are going and how they're being used and translating that into half a dozen languages, fantastic way to build participation. I think you all know that we've got an election coming up in council and that election rates and election turnout rates are not fantastic. We don't have participation amongst Pākehā people, let alone the barriers facing our multicultural community as well. So when you put extra barriers by not providing some sort of pathway or access to integrate into the council processes, it does become harder. So that's what I'm advocating for today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm afraid that we've come to the end of the 5 minutes.
Thank you. No problem.
I'm sorry, it's not an ideal process.
Look, it's fine.
I'm sure that you'll continue to engage with council.
Yeah, you can't shut me up.
Thank you very much.